Post structuralism. A love hate relationship with structuralism developed in the 1960s among many leading French thinkers. In 1966, Jacques Derrida delivered a lecture on the title Structure, Sign and Play in the Discourse of the Human Sciences. That event descended the former intellectual cosmos. A year later, Roland Barthes, The Death of the Author, argued that the literary text has multiple meanings and that the author was not the prime source of the work's semantic content. Thus, the birth of the reader became the source of the proliferation of the meanings of the text. In this way, post structuralism appeared as not only a continuation and development of structuralism, but as a form of rebellion also to it. The post structuralists began to accuse structuralists for they are not following through the implications of the views about languages on which their intellectual system is based. Moreover, one of the structuralistic views is the notion that language doesn't just reflect or record the world, rather, it shapes it. So, to them, how we see it is what we see. As we enter a universe of radical uncertainty, we cannot access to any fixed landmark and we cannot have any standard of measure. So, all the concepts of the structuralism are to be deconstructed. So, the scholars like Roland Barthes and Michel Foucault became post structuralists. Deconstruction, a form of semiotic analysis of Jacques Derrida, who was born in 1930 and who died in the year 2004, the French philosopher, is a theory that has actually given shape to post structuralism. It argues that language, in its concepts of certainty, identity, and truth, is unfortunately complex, unstable, and sometimes impossible to determine. Since the systems are always changing, it is impossible to describe a complete system, like once insisting on the association of darkness with evil and vice versa. As words have no absolute meaning like this, any text is open to an unlimited range of interpretations. So, to have a better and clearer understanding of the text, we should go beyond the structuralistic theories that imply a rigid inner logic to relationship that describe any aspect of social reality. Thus, deconstruction mainly focuses its attention on the slipperiness of language. It makes the reader reject the traditional readings and seek out contradictory viewpoints and analysis to decipher a new meaning. According to Jacques Derrida, as texts have more than one interpretation, a deconstructive reading must always aim at certain relationship by the writer between what he commands and what he doesn't command. Barbara Johnson, who was born in 1947 and who died in the year 2009, also clarifies it by saying deconstruction is not synonymous with destruction. but it is much closer to analysis, which etymologically means undo or to deconstruct. So, deconstruction is not a dismantling of the structure of a text, but a demonstration that it has already dismantled itself. Thus, deconstruction that owes much to Jacques Derrida's grammatology defined a new kind of reading practice that has become a key application of post structuralism. Peter Barry is also of the opinion that deconstruction has to be divided into three parts, namely verbal, textual, and linguistics. According to him, verbal stage is close reading, where one looks for paradoxes and contradictions. In the textual stage, a critic looks for shifts or breaks in the continuity of the poem. In the linguistic stage, the critic looks for the implicit and explicit reference to the unreliability of or unworthiness of the language. Moreover, Derrida doesn't agree with the structuralists, especially in their langue and parole concept, where they establish the traditional hierarchy of speech over writing. Barbara Johnson argues that as speech and writing are forms of the same science of language, grammatology, speech is also subject to the same instability of writing. Apart from this, she also criticizes the entire tradition of Western philosophy's search for discovering the essential structure of knowledge and reality. It is actually their futile attempt of confronting the limits of human thought. They want to establish a logocentrism that is stable. But when a novel is read again after 20 years with the deconstructive reading, it will have definitely different meaning then. This happens because the logocentric thought won't have a fixed meaning. Moreover, their logocentric theories are all based on binary oppositions and hierarchical dualisms, where presence and absence, reality and appearance, male and female, have their roles to play. Here, unfortunately, the first element is regarded as stronger and thus becomes true and a preferable one. But in a deconstructive reading, this assumed center, unconscious point, is revealed. Thus, the binary structure upon which the text rests is imploded, collapsed. Here, what appears to be logical is revealed to be illogical and paradoxical. Aporia, a philosophical term that describes a contradiction, paradox, or logical impasse, checking, blocking, in a text is also considered as an effective one in post structuralism, as it is a rhetorical device in which the speaker expresses uncertainty or doubt about something, often pretended one, it is to persuade the others. In an aporia, the writer expresses doubt about the current topic that he is dealing with. So, there is the possibility to have an unlimited range of interpretations. Then, Derrida also coined the term deference, meaning both difference and an act of deferring, changing, postponing. The meaning of a word is created, not given. Each word actually depends for its meaning on the meanings of other words. The meaning is endlessly deferred, changed in an infinitely long chain of meanings. These are all identified in a deconstructive reading, and so it helps us to have a better and clearer understanding of the text. Thus, post structuralists have pushed language to the extreme and have concluded that truth, meaning, and understanding are impossible. So, as words have no absolute meaning, any text is open to an unlimited range of interpretations. Apart from Derrida, there are many post structuralists like Jacques Lacan, Michel Foucault, who had their sizable contributions to post structuralism. Moreover, it is not that much easy to distinguish post structuralism from structuralism, as both theories are based on the concepts of Joshua and Strauss. But the post structuralists have applied their insights to a wider range of topics and radicalize some of the premises of the structuralists.